All right. Welcome, everyone. Some of you might know me from my work in KDE, but today I want to talk about the other projects I'm working on, and that is Wikidata. How many of you have edited Wikipedia? Raise your hand. Okay, not enough? Let's see if we can change this today. The Wikimedia movement has a vision, and that is, imagine a world in which every single human being can freely share in the sum of all knowledge. We're doing this through a number of projects. You probably know a few of them. There's Wikisource, Wikiversity, Mediawiki, Wikiquote, and more. The biggest one you're probably familiar with is Wikipedia, with over 23 million articles, 1.4 billion edits, and available in 285 languages. That's quite a lot. The second biggest project in Wikimedia is Wikimedia Commons. The multimedia archive was an impressive number of images, videos, audio recordings, all available under free licenses for you to use. There's a but, of course, and that is that the technology all of this is built on is pretty low-tech. It's very powerful, but low-tech. What do I mean by that? If you look at this question, which drugs are on the World Health Organization's lists of essential medicines and are approved for use during pregnancy in the US? That's a question someone might find useful to answer, right? And Wikipedia has, of course, an article on the list of essential medicines by the World Health Organization. And there's articles on each of the drugs on it, including information if is this approved or not in the US. We also have lists like this, lists of ghost towns in Alberta. Someone might find this useful. Or the list of animals with fraudulent diplomas. Someone thought this was useful. But there's no list to answer this question, because no one sat down and wrote this list by hand. So it's time-consuming to answer this question if you have to go to each of those articles and look, oh, is it approved or is it not approved? The other thing we're struggling with is editor retention and recruiting. If you look at this, that is how it looks when you edit the article on Berlin on the English language Wikipedia. And for everyone who does not like curly braces, hyphens, and whatnot, this is not very inviting. Or if you look at this, this is the latest changes on a small Wikipedia, in this case, Twi, which is a language in Africa. And what you can see here is that over the days before this screenshot was taken, there was no human edit in this Wikipedia. All that was done was bots synchronizing stuff from other languages. Now, if you're someone who speaks Twi, it's kind of demotivating to work in Wikipedia where there's no one else to talk to, but just bots, right? The third problem we have is coverage and reach. This is a map of the English language Wikipedia of all the articles that are geotagged. And as you can see a world, the outline of the world pretty well. So if someone, for example, writes an article about Bangalore and adds the geo-coordinates, it will be a dot on this map. Now, if you look at the same map for the French Wikipedia, that's already a lot less. So people have less articles about relevant places and so on. Now, if you look at Italian, not so much outside Italy, right? Or if you look at the Greek Wikipedia, not so much outside Greek. Or Turkish, nearly nothing. This is of course a problem because people who do not speak English cannot access a lot of information that would be useful to them. Or let's put it in a different way. We have 4 Wikipedias that have more than 1 million articles, 41 Wikipedias with more than 100,000 articles, and all of the other Wikipedias have less than that. That means they are not as useful as they could be and as they should be to people. Which in essence means that we are falling short of our vision and that there's still a lot of work to do to get there. And this is, of course, where Wikidata comes in and hopefully helps with some of those problems. To maybe give you an example of how this should work. So in the middle here you have Wikimedia Commons, and Wikimedia Commons provides images for Wikipedias, so all of them. But it also provides these images to whoever on the web wants to use them under the given licenses from one central repository. And what we are going to do is give a little sister project basically to Commons that does the same, but not for multimedia stuff, but instead for data. So what is Wikidata actually? It's a large repository of the world's knowledge. It's a database that anyone can read and edit. It's going to be multilingual, and of course it's free software. Here's a mock-up from some months ago that we did, a bit meta. It's describing Wikidata in Wikidata. So you have things like the organization that does it is Wikimedia Deutschland. It's based on Mediawiki as a technology. Oh, and there's a mailing list as well. And for all of this, we of course have some sources that say, that's really the case, that's really correct. We're going to do this project in 3 phases, and we launched the first one some weeks ago. The first one is about language links, and this is mostly interesting for Wikipedia internally, because right now, if you have a Wikipedia article, in the sidebar you have links to articles in different languages about the same subject. And currently the problem is that each of these links is saved in the Wikipedia article in each language. So you have a lot of duplication, and that is of course bad. The second phase is the one that's actually going to be interesting also for the outside, and that is what we're working on now. And it means that we're building the technology to be able to save data from Wikipedia info boxes in Wikidata. So that would be stuff like the length of a river, or the GDP of a country, or the number of inhabitants of a city, things like that. And in the third phase, we want to allow you to basically build lists and other things based on the data that we collect automatically. So how will Wikidata really help with the problems I mentioned before? It will allow a lot of easy micro contributions. So you no longer have to write a whole Wikipedia article in top shape to be able to contribute to Wikipedia, but instead you will be able to enter data in a nice form, one at a time, that maybe you found somewhere, you researched, and so on. So this is much smaller contributions that should make it easier. We also, in this way, want to support the smaller Wikipedias, so they can rely on work done in the larger ones. So if someone at some point said, oh yeah, this and that person is the president of this and that country, then all of these languages should be able to use them, right? And of course, we want to allow to automate stuff once it's machine readable that is currently done by hand, because right now, way too many things on Wikipedia are done by hand that should not be necessarily done by hand. Why is this special? First of all, as I already said, it will be able to handle a lot of languages. It will be able to handle qualifiers and sources. What do I mean by that? When Wikipedians are very proud of getting things right and correct and so on, but sometimes the world isn't just black and white, right? So for example, up there we have a mock-up of the page for Berlin, and it says, oh, Berlin has a population of 8,000. That's, of course, way too little. But then it says, as of the 15th century. So, yeah, that makes a lot more sense, right? And this year, it was 3,500,000. And for the number for the 15th century, we also have one source that says this is correct. It can handle differing opinions. I don't know if anyone here knows this picture, but it's a well-known picture in the German language Wikipedia. It's a picture of the Donau Tower. And there was a very, very long discussion about if this is a vantage point or a TV tower. It's still ongoing. So Wikidata needs to be able to handle both of these. And it will be. But of course, everything we build, just like Wikipedia, just like Wikimedia Commons, is not just for Wikimedia, but it's also for everyone else out there to use. So with Wikidata, we will be able to provide the world with a large multilingual knowledge base that anyone can use. It will have references. It will be on an open license. There will be an API that can be used to access the data. And of course, it's edited and maintained by a very large community, which is important if you want to rely on the data, of course, right? And if you don't want to use the one we will provide, you can even run your own instance and host your own data. And people already came up with quite a few things that they want to do. For example, a water sports wiki. So you can look up where there are nice places to go scuba diving or canoeing and so on. They want to use it for patent tracking, for opening up government data, and for ordnance data collection. So they can help people on the ground work with more current data. But there's, of course, so many more things you can do with it once the data is collected and freely available. Which means the question is, what are you all going to do with Wikidata? And I hope that some of you will come to me to figure this out after my talk. And I hope by doing that, we will get a lot closer to making this vision reality. And if you want to know more, you can go to wikidata.org, where the first stuff is live. And you can follow us on Twitter, on IRC, and on our mailing list. Are there any questions?
In Wikipedia, at least you have different sections where you can search by. So all related information to a particular topic is on a single page. When you talk about Wikidata and you talk about just small chunks of data. How
Yes.
do you even classify that? So how do I know what is in Wikidata? How do I go there and what do I search on? And what are the keys or what are the tags?
So you mean if you're on Wikipedia, how do you edit the data? Or
How do I know what data is available in Wikidata?
oh, if you go to wikidata.org, you can search for everything. Like as I showed earlier, you will find pages similar to this. And for example, here you have all the data available about Wikidata itself. And then you will have a similar page for Bangalore or for, I don't know, the River Nile, and so on. And it's very, there is a mechanism to go, okay, give me the page that relates to this and that page in, for example, the English Wikipedia. I can show that to you afterwards if you want.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Thank you. Do you plan on publishing an API for this?
Yes, there is already the start of an API, so everything that is in there already can be accessed by an API, and the rest will be done as well.
It seems very unnatural to me to have a separate site to edit that data. I mean, I would expect to edit, I don't know, the length of the river on that Wikipedia page itself, and then have a semantic storage from the Wikipedia itself, and then to query, I don't know, that Wikipedia search. Why is that like separately done? It's very like unnatural to me, as I said.
Okay, so you will on Wikipedia very likely be able to edit the data there directly. It's just a matter of us developing it, which hasn't happened yet. So that if you're on a Wikipedia page, you can just click edit and it will do the right thing without you having to worry about all that other stuff. And the second thing is we have to have it in one central place so it can be used by all 285 Wikipedias, just like the images. That's just how it has to be. As for the semantic storage, on a scale of Wikipedia, that is hard to do. And this seems like the more sensible approach to do it.
So how does that relate to the semantic branch of Wikipedia?
Semantic Mediawiki?
I think, yeah.
People who started Semantic Mediawiki are now either leading or advising Wikidata, or are working as developers on it. Semantic Mediawiki will go on because it has its use cases and is a great project, but it's been around for a long time now, and it's just not the right thing for Wikipedia itself. It is the right thing for other things, but yeah, Wikipedia needs something else.
All right, fair enough. And how is that done technically, Wikidata? I mean, is that
How it's done technically. So basically what you see here is a MediaWiki extension, and the data is stored as JSON in the wiki text, basically, and put a nice UI on it.
All right, so it's another MediaWiki with fancy extensions.
Exactly.
And different storage, maybe, I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right, thanks.
More questions?
Oh, again, sorry. Would I be able to create, I don't know, say, category German rivers with more than, no idea, 100 kilometers in length or so? Would I then be able to return all lists, all entries that match?
Early next year, you will be hopefully able to do that, yes.
Or I don't know, contact list, like an address book of every person beginning with A or so. I don't know. All right, lovely. Thanks.
I have a question here. Here, the last, right? Yeah. Okay, so the idea about building an application on Wiki is about doing analytics on it, right? So, for example, I have an application. So, I'll give you an example project. There's a project called Maui Indexer, which works on Wikidata. and it does a lot of text searching and pattern matching on Wikipedia data, right? But the thing is that I have to do a lot of, I mean, there's no categorization in this Wikidata, so that I can do a more narrower search on my analytics, right? So those things need to be there in Wikidata before we can actually start building applications on it.
Yes.
So how frequent can we, like, how soon can we expect that things to come?
Sorry, can you repeat the last part?
Yeah, I was expecting these things to get incorporated to the Wikidata and as a part of an API or something, so that we don't have to do our own analytics, or maybe if we do, we have a narrower search. We don't have to do it in the whole data, right?
So there is an API that you can already use for the stuff that's available, and there will be more. It will be extended for the stuff that is coming, and then you can use that. But we are also expecting someone to set up a triple store, for example, so you can do even more fancy queries on it. Because we will need to limit in some way the queries you can do on this, simply because at this scale you have to. But as I said, we expect someone to set up a triple store pretty soon after that's feasible, and then you can run all kinds of fancy queries there that are not within the restrictions we have to have on Wikidata itself.
I have one more question about the format of the data. I mean,
yes.
Is it like a plain text, big text file, or is it something like a hash map or something like? I mean, we need to know the format before you can start application coding. So
internally, it's saved as JSON in a wiki page. What you can get out of it at the moment, I think, is JSON and RDF.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes. Since I'm part of the development team, that's not my decision to make. It's up to the community. But I expect that people will at some point import data from Wikipedia together with the sources. And how far they will automate this, I don't know. Up to them. Some automation is already happening for the stuff that is available now, because it's pretty simple. We'll have to see what else they want to do.
How is it made multilingual?
Sorry?
How is it made multilingual? Like, what do you apply technically?
So you can, at the moment, switch the language and enter data in different languages. And then in the Wikipedia, for example, if there's data available about, let's say, the President of the United States, then you will be able to either use the one that's available and translate it in your language, or fallback. This could be English or some other language if that is more appropriate. Yeah.
Is this still not manual? Like, there are still people doing it, right?
At the moment, it's people and bots. And I expect this to continue like that.
Okay, thank you.
We work on applications, for example, like wikifying the text, whatever text we are getting from some source.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there a plan of having an API around which we can use to give a data, and we get wikified text as an output using the API in Wikidata?
I'm not sure I understand what you mean. We should talk about this after
for example,
the talk.
For example, I have a text,
yes.
Okay, and I want to wikify the text. For example, one paragraph, I got it from some source,
mm-hmm.
and which has keywords, maybe mention of some country, mention
mm-hmm.
of some celebrity, which I don't have right now links to that. But if I want to give this input to Wikidata to tag it, and I get an output as a JSON where
Wikidata itself will not do that, but if someone builds an app to do that, that should totally be possible. More questions? All right, then thank you very much. I will be around and happy to talk to you about Wikidata. Thank you.